Part 2. Verdant Wind. Ethereal Moon. Reunion at Dawn. It is Imperial Year 1185. Nearly 5 years have passed since the fall of the monastery at Garreg Mach, and war continues to plague the lands of Fodlan. Ferdiad has been captured. The Holy Kingdom of Fargus is in shambles. The Leicester Alliance is on the verge of collapse, fractured by two opposing factions, those who support the Adrestian Empire and its ruler, and those who seek her demise. Meanwhile, under Emperor Edelgard's rule of law, the Adrestian Empire continues to expand its reach. The path to a new Fodlan, unified by Imperial strength, may yet be in sight.
You. How long do you intend to sleep? Your body is awake. Your eyes must open now, and you must find the strength to stand upon those legs of yours. Like so much rain, a pool of blood has fallen to the ground. As spears and arrows pierce the earth, it weeps. And even now, it weeps. In order to survive, they kill. And so the people of this world are lost in an abyss of suffering. They weep as well. The only one who truly knows the nature of such things is I. Or rather, you.
Excuse me? Are you saying you have forgotten who I am? How dare you? Get on your feet. Right now. I'll coddle you no more. You are just like a child, always needing me to hold your hand.
Hey, are you awake? We're in a village at the base of the monastery. What are you doing in a place like this? I honestly didn't expect to find someone floating away down the river. Garreg Mach is upstream of here, but that place was abandoned. Huh? You don't know? The Church of Saros isn't there anymore. Though, there have been some folks still living there in the 5 years since... well, you know. Anyway, I've heard some thieves have been spotted around those parts these days. Are you feeling alright? You didn't hit your head or anything, did you? It's the ethereal moon of the year 1185. It's been nearly 5 years since the monastery fell. Tomorrow was supposed to be the Millennium Festival, but who's got time to think about things like that? Yeah, that's what I said. But with the war and the Archbishop still missing and all, I doubt there's a soul to be found who has enough blessings worth counting. Hey, slow down, will ya? Where do you think you're going? Are you crazy? I told you. They say thieves are running amok up there. And there's plenty of other dangers, too. Come on, I promise I won't say you're a coward. Just forget about going anywhere near the monastery. You just remember I tried to stop you. Got it? It's not on my conscience if you wind up dead. Unbelievable.
You overslept, Teach. Pretty rude to keep a fella waiting like that, wouldn't you say? What's with that surprised look, my friend? You didn't really think I'd given up on you coming back, did you? Can you feel it? A new dawn is finally here. Not just for us, though. No. For all of Fodlan. It's been 5 long years. Where have you been, Teach? You don't really expect me to believe that you've been napping this whole time, do you? It's a good one. Except that's not your lying face. I guess I've got no choice but to believe you. You're not exactly normal to begin with, so it's not a huge stretch to imagine you sleeping for that long. And this is where you say, just kidding, right? If this is a rib, now's the time to fess up. You must be insane, and yet... fine. I believe you, okay? But that means you don't know anything that happened after your last battle, right? I guess it's on me to catch you up. As you can see, Garreg Mach was crushed by the Empire and was never restored. The monastery is in ruins, and the town is in pretty bad shape too. Can you guess why? It would seem that's one possible explanation, since you insist that's what you've been up to. All we know for sure is that Rhea suddenly vanished during that battle 5 years ago. The Knights of Seiros have apparently been searching all over Fodlan for her. But the fact that this place is in ruins tells me they still haven't found her. Worried, huh? Well, for better or worse, Rhea was clearly fond of you. But I'm not so sure whether it would be good for her to return as the Archbishop. Rather, with her gone... never mind. This could be a dangerous conversation. Before we discuss the state of affairs in each territory, are you hungry? You must be. It's not much, but I did bring some food with me. Let's eat up and go from there. Whew, I am stuffed. Even the most humble of meals taste great with the right company. By the way, Teach, do you remember the night before the ball? I know it was 5 years ago, but we promised that the Golden Deer house would reunite during the Millennium Festival. Today's the day we promised to meet up, but no one's here. True, there's still some daylight left. Let's wait just a little longer. You never know, maybe someone will show up after all. Hey, Teach, just waiting around sounds boring, so why don't we get in some exercise? You know, help with digestion and stuff. You must be in bad shape if you've been sleeping for 5 years. It'll do you good to get your body moving again. Something like that. Look, if you come with me, you'll understand. Oh, and don't forget your weapons, okay? I want to make sure neither your leadership nor your skill with a blade have dulled.
In the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, Imperial loyalist Cornelia has subdued all regions of the former royal house of Blathed to prevent further revolt. Prince Dimitri has been sentenced. Now, the backbone of the former kingdom, Houses Gautier and Fraldarius, struggle to continue the resistance. Cornelia, operating out of the royal palace, has accepted the support of the Empire to build an army and plots to wipe out all remaining kingdom forces. In the Leicester Alliance, House Regan leads an anti-imperial faction, while House Gloucester directs the Empire's supporters. Despite the undeniable threat of fracture, the Alliance's adept new leader, Claude, deftly maintains the outward appearance of a unified front. In Enbar, the imperial capital of the Adrestian Empire, Emperor Edelgard fights to strengthen her regime. She has extended her reach to the kingdom by inciting a coup and continues to draw its former lords under her influence in pursuit of controlling all of Western Fodlan. In the meantime, The Knights of Seros have been dispatched to find Archbishop Rhea, who remains missing despite their searching. Left unattended, the monastery at Garreg Mach has fallen to ruin and become a haven for thieves.
The thieves are here. Apparently they're trying to run off with treasures from the monastery.
What the? Intruders! Protect the goods!
This is gonna get expensive. Collect everything the thieves carried out.
What's my strategy? It won't be in vain.
At the ready. I fought and won. We're all desperate, aren't we? So close. A fitting outcome. The weak fall, the strong live. I fought and won.
Watch and learn. This could turn the tides.
Good time for a secret scheme. You got yourself killed.
Predictable.
Here is something to believe in.
It won't be in vain.
Sorry, but I must. You got yourself killed.
This could turn the tides. There is still... Watch and learn. Another victory.
The barbarity is even worse than the root.
Today was supposed to be a happy day.
the monastery is in such disrepair.
Over there. Is that the professor? And the others? Professor! You're alive! Guess we better handle this before I celebrate, though, huh?
You finally made it. I suppose virtue... I'm hurt, but I'm with you. A fitting outcome.
Steady now.
Shall we?
My orders? Nice try. Shall we? Nice try. I'm not dying here.
This could turn the tides.
No hesitation!
I must lead them well.
I'll have to be clever.
Predictable.
At the ready.
Our quarrel wasn't personal.
Thanks for that.
How about a curtsy?
Another victory. I'm stronger than before.
You got yourself killed. I'm that much...
Let's try some.
Too easy.
My moment has arrived! I fought and won.
This'll take some strategy.
Is that the professor? And everyone else? If they're fighting...
Wow, it's you! Here I thought you were dead all this time. Could that be the professor's ghost?
Hey, you're late! Hurry up and help! A nobleman does his duty.
Allow me to demonstrate!
This could turn the tides.
Next try! Don't get used to this. I'll do my best.
Leave it to me.
Let's make this quick.
We could split into two groups. If we hit them from the north and south, we...
I will not die yet.
Still in it. You should have seen that coming.
Another victory.
Hold a grudge if you must.
We're all desperate, aren't we?
shall we?
My orders?
Shall we? It all comes down to this.
Can't afford to slack off.
Steady now. I wasn't about to let you go.
I'll do my best.
What's my strategy?
At the ready.
No! I'm not the one you want!
Strategy in motion.
It isn't looking good for us. Should we retreat?
So, he revealed his true identity.
Leave it to me.
Let's make this quick. I'm not there yet.
Can't afford to lose. You should yield me a tidy profit. They won't see this coming. You should have seen that coming. I thought it would be easy money. Maybe.
We took care of that. Are you sufficiently warmed up, Teach?
My thank you so much. I'm exhausted. What gives, Professor? I was so excited to see everyone again, and then this happens. I'm still tired from the long journey. How did it come to this?
Let's all take a moment to catch our breath.
If you've got the spare time to play with those guys, the least you could do is prepare some tea.
Come on, those guys were thieves. We couldn't just let them get away. It seems they've been taking advantage of the church's absence and doing whatever they please here.
In any case, I'm glad that all of you are well.
That's the spirit, Marianne.
That was fun. In fact, I wouldn't mind romping around some more.
So, you were alive this whole time, Professor. I am not surprised. In fact, that is why I came here.
And it doesn't look like time has rusted your skills. That's a relief.
I'm just glad everyone's alive and well. On that note, let's move this reunion party somewhere else. Now that we've dealt with those violent bandits, we could potentially use this place as our base of operations again.
What could you possibly mean by that?
I'm talking about the Lester Alliance taking over Garreg Mach Monastery. After all, it's right in the middle of Fodlan. It's a critical strategic location.
Are you suggesting that we fight back against the Empire?
Aren't you getting a bit ahead of yourself? The Alliance is in complete discord at present.
And, as leader of the Imperial faction of the Alliance, isn't Count Gloucester, your father, the main cause of that discord?
Yes, that is true. Had we not
Naturally. And, to be clear, I have no problem with your house maintaining its Imperial ties until we're sufficiently prepared to revolt. The Empire is the cause of the infighting. If we rid ourselves of them, the situation should resolve itself. That's why I'm thinking we should make this our base, raise up an army, and stir up some trouble for the Empire.
Now you're talking. Sounds like fun.
So then, Mr. Leaderman, does this mean you intend to rope us into your little scheme?
My grandfather passed away. That means yours truly is officially the leader of the Alliance.
If we had a more reliable leader, perhaps the Alliance would not have been divided.
Think what you will. All I need to know is if you're in or you're out.
I'm happy to lend a hand. I won't let those Imperial dogs set foot in Alliance territory. I couldn't bear it if my village got caught up in the chaos of war.
I'll fight too. I've got to protect my little sis.
I will join as well. After all, House Ordelia was once dragged into an Imperial revolt. It ruined us.
Of course. I understand your motivation.
I'll fight too. It's time to take responsibility for my own future.
I don't want to run anymore. I hope I'll be of use to everyone.
We can do anything if we work together, Marianne.
What about you, Lawrence? Are you going to go back home to your scary father or what?
We cannot rely on Claude's scheming to lead us to victory. Therefore, I will remain. It is my duty to ensure Claude does not worsen the situation in the Alliance.
All of us are fighting for a different reason, but we share a common enemy. If we don't act, the Empire will crush us eventually. I say we stop them before they have the chance. So, Teach, will you help as well? Please do. I'm counting on you. Even if your ultimate goal is to find Rhea, it would be better to stick with us as you search. With you on our side, the Church will join us as well. That makes fighting the Empire a moral cause, which means it'll be easier to rally support. Above all, your knowledge and strength are indispensable if we hope to stand a chance against the Imperial army. Without you, my schemes are nothing. Just words. Please, take all of that into consideration as you decide.
You're really laying it all on the table, aren't you, Claude?
Well, all that aside, this place is a mess.
We can't very well make our base in a ruin. And repairing it sounds like a lot of work. I wonder if anyone would be willing to help us out with that.
Can it be? You were alive all this time?
Professor, it is so good to see you again. My brother and I were worried about you.
Oh, thank the goddess. I couldn't bear the thought of letting Gerald down by not finding you.
Guess you lucked out. We've been looking everywhere for you, but I see Lady Rhea isn't with you.
Damn. Everyone was real worried about you, Professor.
Cyril? Is that you? You've grown up, kid. Have you been looking for Rhea with the Knights?
Of course, without Lady Rhea, I don't belong anywhere.
Cyril, that's not... Never mind. We'll figure it all out.
Oh my. The Golden Deer house is together again at last. And all grown up. Well, for the most part.
I do regret that we were never able to hold a proper graduation for all of you students.
It has been 5 years since Lady Rhea disappeared. We have devoted all of our energies to finding her. However, without being able to set foot in Empire territory, we are at a standstill. We had hoped that perhaps the Archbishop would return here on this day. That of the long-awaited Millennium Festival.
Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case, though I don't suppose you had very high hopes in that regard. Even if she were able to return here, with the monastery in ruins, I don't think she would have felt safe enough to do so. Right, Hilda?
Yeah! This is an important location for the church. To think you've left it in such a state.
That's true. Perhaps we've left it alone for too long. We've got to make things right.
I can clean this place up like new. It's not fit for Lady Rhea like this.
And leaving this place in ruins affects the safety of this area, too.
Agreed. There is also a great deal of valuable literature here.
Then let's do it. If we all work together, we can restore the monastery to its original beauty.
We will require the aid of skilled craftsmen, too. I shall seek out any such individuals who are willing to return to Garrick Mach.
Fantastic! I'll figure out how to split up the work, and then we can get started.
Part 2. Verdant Wind. Guardian Moon. The Alliance Leader's Ambitions. Claiming the monastery at Garrick Mach as its home base, the Alliance army joins forces with the Knights of Seros. Together, they begin to take up arms against the Adrestian Empire.
Good work, Hilda. You didn't do much manual labor, but you managed to rope the knights into helping us restore the monastery.
Thanks, Claude. But all I did was piggyback on your scheme. I saw your eyes telling me to make some magic happen.
Thank you so much for your help with the restoration.
Oh, please, it was nothing. We're just doing our part as former students.
I'm told you even routed the bandits. That job should have fallen to us. I'm sorry for the trouble.
Hey, don't think twice about it. We're all allies in the resistance against the Empire, right?
The Church is at war with the Empire, but let's be realistic. Wouldn't it be better for the Alliance to eventually submit?
The way I see it, the Emperor wants to take over all of Fodlan and destroy the existing order of the world. I can't see her allowing the Alliance to continue to exist. We're in this just as deeply as you are. Actually, we were hoping to use this place as a base. The Empire begs to be meddled with, and we're first in line.
What? Why would you want to make your base here of all places?
Garrick Mach is situated in the center of Fodlan, both geographically and spiritually. We want to secure this location while the Empire is still overlooking it.
I see. The Empire doesn't see this place as important at the moment because it's far from the front lines.
But if we simply decide that it's ours to occupy, that does nothing to inspire the hearts and minds of the people of Fodlan. Luckily, good old Teach has finally returned to us. If the Professor Rhea entrusted with the Sword of the Creator fights at our side, well now, that's a just cause anyone could get behind. What's more, here we are, working alongside the legendary Knights of Seros. It smacks of divine providence, doesn't it? Can you feel it?
I have heard what you have to say, Claude. And you, Professor? Where do you stand? On our own, we lack sufficient military strength. But with the help of the Alliance, the Archbishop said if anything should happen to her, that we should entrust the affairs of the Church to you. If you intend to fight alongside the Alliance, then I will follow you as well. Is that acceptable, Claude?
Of course. I can't think of anything more reassuring than having both Teach and the Knights on our side. Together, we'll stop the Emperor and her reckless ambitions.
Whew, time for a breather. Hey, Professor. Yep, noticed you have been too. Seems like it's been a real rough day for just about everybody, huh? I've been so busy I still haven't eaten. I hope there's still food left. How come you're carrying that around? Whatever, I'm hungry. When you're hungry enough, just about anything tastes good. What a day. I need a nap, but I still gotta get the dining hall cleaned up. Professor, that's funny. You push yourself harder than anybody else. You make me look lazy. Besides, I don't even break a sweat doing this stuff. The day Lady Rhea comes home, I want her to see the monastery the way it was 5 years ago. That's why I do all this stuff. For her. And the harder I work, the better. Heck, I'd do more than I do now if there were hours in the day. But I can't go without sleep. Tried once. You must think I'm pretty weird, huh, Professor? I'm always on about Lady Rhea, and I'm not even from Fodlan. I bet most people around here think I'm kinda weird. But I'm real grateful for everything Lady Rhea's done for me. That's nice of you to say. Real nice. Thanks, Professor. It's good to know you like me. Helps me feel even more at home. I've heard people say that good folks have a heart of gold. Not real gold, I mean. Just they always care about everybody else. Even guys like me. Lady Rhea's incredible. But I figure you're just the same, Professor. Okay. I guess I gotta give in and get some sleep. I'll get up extra early to make up for it. Good night, Professor.
Perfect comprehension. Sorry, Claude. You can't go past.
Huh? Ah, Cyril, it's you. Is there a problem? It's not the first time I've been to the Holy Tomb. Rhea herself took me there once. Besides, the inside's been scoured by the Imperial Army. There's nothing left there now.
Don't matter. Lady Rhea said nobody could go in, so I can't let you through. I gotta do what Lady Rhea says. You wanna break them rules? Then you'll be her enemy. If you're trying to do that, I'll have to fight you.
Fine, I get it. I wouldn't hesitate to make an enemy of Rhea if it came to that. But I'd rather not fight with you. So I'll back off. For now.
Why is that?
Does it matter?
Dunno. With your status, you could smack me to the ground and walk right over me.
I guess. But I wouldn't. We're friends.
I thought you were the kind of guy who'd smack down just about anybody if you needed to.
You really are a stubborn one. All right then, I'll tell you. I swore I'd change this world so that those without status are no longer oppressed. Though you were never one of the people I was hoping to save. I never knew that there were people in Elmira in your kind of situation. I realized that my own perspective was too narrow. You helped me realize that. So, I owe you.
Did you just say you're all about saving people who are oppressed? Really?
I did. Is it so strange to hear that from me?
It's just... you reminded me of Lady Rhea there for a second. Lady Rhea always tried to save us folks without any status in the world. Like when she let an outsider like me stay at the monastery. That was real nice. She brought in those kids from Ramire Village when they lost their parents, and...
Well, I'm not a religious man. I'm sure Rhea wouldn't want to be lumped in with a guy like me.
Lady Rhea didn't do those things because the goddess told her she should. She did it because she wanted to. I can tell you that.
I see. In that case, maybe I don't need to make an enemy of her. Thanks, Cyril. I think you've brought me a step closer to my dream.
Thanks to you too, Claude. If I was able to help you, then that makes me happy.
Marianne! Come here! Quick!
Oh, what's wrong, Raphael?
It's that bird you were talking to! I just found him! See? Right there on the lower branch. That's gotta be him. But he looks a little sad for some reason.
You're right. Do you mind if I handle this? Hello there, Mr. Bird. How do you do? Yes, I see. I see. So your food supply is...
Food? I got it.
I completely understand. I have seen more people and birds foraging for berries lately. It would be ideal if those berries were growing in another forest nearby. Then you wouldn't have to.
Are you hungry, Mr. Bird? I got just what you need.
Are those bugs? Yuck.
Look at him go. He's loving it. He's gonna get so big and strong after this.
That was disgusting. But how did you know he was hungry?
I could tell by looking at him. He looked hungry and weak. More importantly, I saw what you did. That bird wasn't speaking human, so you gotta understand birdese. I knew it!
Oh, about that. I'm sorry, Raphael, but I need to tell you the truth. I can sort of understand what animals are thinking when I look at them, but I can't speak to them. I'm sorry for leading you on.
Oh, I see. What about me then? Can you tell what I'm thinking when you look at me?
No, Raphael. I can't.
Well, of course not. You're not even looking at me. You gotta look at my eyes.
Nope, still can't do it.
I guess I just gotta tell you. I'm thinking it would be nice if you talked to me the way you talk to animals.
What do you mean?
Whenever you talk to animals, you seem happy and friendly. I just wish you'd talk to me like that too.
I'm so sorry, Raphael. I didn't know.
What if I tried this? Cheep cheep chiree choo choo doo!
What the...
Whoa! I've never heard you laugh before!
I should have talked to you in Birdese sooner. Cheep chara, cheeply woo, teedledee!
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that one.
I said you gotta eat bugs to grow big and strong, just like Mr. Bird.
Ah, I think I'll have to pass.
Hilda? I wanted to thank you for helping me in the infirmary. I brought you these pastries.
Ooh, thanks. I'll put some tea on. Have a seat.
That sounds lovely. But I also wanted to apologize for always causing you such trouble.
It's no trouble. No trouble at all. Everything tastes better with friends, don't you think? I give you help, you give me sweets, we have a little tea party. It's a good arrangement, I'd say. I'm used to it now, so if it changed suddenly, I would feel disoriented.
I suppose if you're enjoying yourself, then it can't be that bad.
Sure. You don't seem to mind listening while I gab, so I'm enjoying myself plenty. But do let me know if I'm too boring.
No, you're not boring at all. In fact, you're, very good at talking. You're also good with your hands. You can clean and organize better than almost anyone. I envy you.
Oh, stop. I'm blushing. I'm not as great as all that. We're both a lot different on the inside than we look on the outside, don't you think?
How do you mean?
People who see you think you're so proper, but you're actually clumsy. That's why I help you, because there are some things you just can't do.
I'm sorry you always have to clean up after me.
I didn't say I hated it. In fact, you've taught me a few new techniques I can use to persuade people. Maybe I'll start imitating you a little bit. I'll do the Marianne. That sheepish, sorry, and those quavering downcast eyes. But that might not work as well for me. People would probably assume that I'd hit my head.
Oh, well...
Aw, Marianne laughing at me. So rude and yet so adorable.
I'm so sorry. I just can't help it. When I imagine you doing those things,
Yeah. It's rather un-Hilda-like, I'll admit. Okay, that's enough laughing.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, are you all right? That tea's hot, Marianne. Be careful.
Yes. Oh, ouch, hot.
Come on, what did I just say?
I know, I'm sorry. Ow, hot.
Oh boy, a real steady hand, that Marianne. It's nice to see her laugh. Sure, she was laughing at me, but how can I get mad when she looks so dang cute?
Professor. Well...
It's not just for my village that I'm fighting alongside you here, you know. It's also that Captain Gerald asked me, his first and greatest apprentice, to look out for you. Of course, it wouldn't be enough just to keep you alive. It's my duty to make sure you win, too. So do your best, Professor, and count on me.
headstrong, but Claude could give me a run for my money. I mean, he's dragged the Knights into this. You ought to be careful, Professor. Don't worry about me. I'm here because I want to be. Also, because being around my big brother feels like a real chore. Excuse me. Could you do me a favor? Excuse me. Could you do me a favor? I'm pretty. Thanks so much. You're a sweetheart. Thanks so much. You're a sweetheart.
Right.
Do you have time for a request?
Professor! I'd given up on ever seeing you again. Where have you been hiding? Anyway, now that we're reunited in the land of the living, I must fulfill my promise. That's right. I promised the captain I'd protect you in his stead.
Professor! Hey, welcome. You have a good eye. You have a good. You have a. 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 You have a good. Come again.
Hello there. This one, yes. 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 I thank you. This one, yes. This one, yes. This one, yes. This one, yes. I thank you. Return soon, please.
Got a favor to ask.
Professor. Professor?
Professor, I have written, there is not, but by staying, I will be able to influence the course of events directly. On the field of battle, we will not be friends.
I need a favor.
Hey, I could use a hand.
Professor.
Professor!
You've done me a great service.
Professor?
How incredible. What a striking color. Ah, Professor, look at this stone. Such a brilliant blue. You don't normally find stones like this around here. I ought to grind it down. I wonder if it would still be the same color. To make pigment for my art. Good supplies don't come cheap. I prefer to make my own. Blue is especially expensive. How fortunate that I chanced upon this remarkable blueness. Oh, I'm sorry. There I go again, blathering on and on about painting. Oh, yes. But I know that I can get rather caught up in it and, enthusiastic. You know, Professor, no matter how impassioned I become about my art, you never hold it against me. One could argue that I'm better off preparing for our next battle. I am becoming a knight. Oh, Professor, please don't say things like that. I gave up on my artistic dreams long ago. To support my family, I will be a knight. That's that. No. I know it's the right thing to do. I'll continue with my art as a hobby. I don't think I could ever give it up. When I see something beautiful, I can't suppress the urge to paint it. I don't have a choice. And if my art can bring happiness to even one person, that's good enough for me. Professor, I have a favor to ask. I'm painting a portrait right now. When it's finished, I'd like to give the piece to you. Would you take it? Perhaps it can bring you a little happiness. That will have made the effort well worth it. Oh, excellent! Is that a promise? Because I'm really going to put my heart in it. That is, I'm going to enjoy partaking in this casual hobby of mine.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. You know, it's such a thrill to be able to greet you like this again. I almost died as well in the battle 5 years ago, but I won't allow any enemies to get into this place again. I promise you that. Even if the Death Knight shows up, I'll be sure to... Well, for now I'll keep training, so I can eventually feel confident that I can stop him.
Let's see.
Professor. Hey, Professor. I think you've been working too much lately. The battle's gonna keep going with or without you, but you're the one doing the most out there. It's real impressive how you can focus on giving orders and fighting. I don't think I could do both in the same battle. I see you running all over the place, even after the battle's over. I just don't want you to wear yourself out. Oh yeah? As soon as you say you're fine, that's when it hits you. No offense, Professor, but don't you think some folks might be taking advantage of you? Claude keeps asking you to do things, but you never say no. Like when you gave that speech to the troops. That didn't seem like something you wanted to do. I know you gotta follow orders on the battlefield, but you shouldn't have to do things off the battlefield if you don't wanna. What do you mean? Like studying? Sure, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but that was to keep my little sis fed. I had good reason for it. The same, huh? I think I get what you mean. You do things you don't want to do for the sake of everyone else. That's real noble of you, Professor. I guess I can't get in your way if you're doing it for the right reasons. Okay then. I'm gonna keep trying to do my best. But now, I'm gonna do it for you. My little sis is important to me. But you're real important too. I always work hard for the people who matter to me. And having more of them in my life just means I gotta work even harder. What do you think? Really? I wasn't expecting you to say that. You're gonna make me blush. We gotta keep working hard together then. At least until this war's over. I'll work to make sure you don't collapse from exhaustion. You got nothing to worry about, Professor. I've been training non-stop. I got your back, no matter what.
Hi there.
Oh, hi, Professor. Do you remember what we talked about before? About doing my best to not do my best? Well, I've been pretty busy recently, and despite my best efforts, I've been trying way too hard. I was busy all day yesterday with training and work. I just couldn't help myself. That's why I decided to take a day off today. It's just, now that I have a day off, I don't know what to do with myself. Please, you have to help me. What should I do? I can't relax if I'm doing nothing. I need something to keep me occupied or I'll go nuts. I'm sorry, but I don't think I'm cut out for not doing my best. Oh! You're a professor. You must know some secret technique for deep relaxation, right? If you do, please teach me. I'm begging you. I'm at my wit's end. Got it. I'll try that right now. This candy is so sweet and delicious, and it goes so well with piping hot tea. Ooh, and speaking of the tea, your brewing skills are incredible. I'd love to be able to make such nice tea, but... Oh, Professor, will you teach me how to brew tea like this? I'll do my best to learn, and then I'll make delicious tea for you as thanks. Oh, sorry. Back to my old tricks, it seems. So, why is it so difficult to not do my best? I try and try to not try, but it just doesn't work. Professor? You're right. Doing nothing is just not my style. To be myself, I've got to do my best every day. Okay. Then you really must teach me how to make such delicious tea. You will, won't you? Please. Oh, and also, well, thank you. You've listened to me and helped me face my troubles. Now I feel like I can talk to you about anything. Honestly, I wish we could go on drinking tea like this forever. Members of the Knights tell me that Father left their ranks 5 years ago. They say he announced he was returning to the kingdom, but nobody's heard from him since. I haven't received word that he went back home to Mother. Where could he be? Where are you, Father?
Fighting alongside you and everyone else is a dream come true, Professor. And don't worry about my little sis. Right now, she's back home helping out with the family business. I kind of figured I was going to be stuck going back and taking over for her. But thanks to you and Claude, I get to work on my dream of becoming a proper knight.
more of a mercenary than a knight these days. I work to get paid. I never was too attached to Fodlan. I was considering leaving soon, but I might change my mind if you're around. In Lady Rhea's absence, I will follow you. That's what she would want me to do. Know that wherever you might lead us, I'll continue searching for Lady Rhea. Good, because I will not budge on that point. Welcome back, Professor.
Hey! During the Millennium Festival, the leaders of all territories were supposed to gather together and pledge perpetual peace. But now that hope has been dashed, thanks to the Emperor's actions. The kingdom is also vastly different than before. I guess we'll never return to the world as it was 5 years ago.
Okay.
In the Alliance, the Lords have been at odds, so peace and prosperity have declined there as well. In particular, bandits have been appearing in large numbers near the Great Bridge of Myrden. Rumor has it that the domain's lord, someone by the name of Acheron, is a completely ineffectual leader.
Maybe.
Hey there, my friend. It's funny how the monastery was once in ruins, but now it's downright bustling. Thanks to a little promise 5 years ago, our buddies have all gathered, and even the knights have returned. It's like we were all just waiting for you to awaken. And now, we're all going to band together against the Imperial Army. You should go and talk to everyone if you can. There may be...
Yes. During his... it served as a result.
Professor, I am so glad you are unharmed. No matter the path you walk, I will be with you every step of the way. Anything you ask of me, I shall see it through. You saved my life, and I am in your debt.
Ugh, that hurts.
Ah, Professor. Thanks for stopping by. It's not bad. I was even told I'd be cleared for service starting tomorrow. Besides, I got this scar fighting for you. It's almost like a medal or something. When I thought you were going to be killed for real, my reflexes kicked in. I reacted without thinking. It doesn't mean I've stopped being jealous of you. But come on, I can't help but look up to you. If I'd had the guts to run away from home, I wonder if I would have cared as little about my crest as you do yours. No. But if I thought I could have escaped, I would have tried. I'd leave behind House Gautier, and the life of a nobleman, and anybody who knew I had a crest. Our home is to the very north of the kingdom. Just across the mountains from us is land inhabited by foreigners to Fodlan. It once belonged to Fargus, but now that the kingdom has collapsed, it's only a matter of time until fighting breaks out. Anyway, that land has been contested for centuries, and all that time, it has fallen to House Gautier to protect it. Actually, our Lance of Ruin has been doing most of the protecting. Those were dangerous times. One wrong step, and we would have lost our relic to the church. My father was afraid that the church would try to keep the lance, so he entrusted it to me. If an emergency arose, I was supposed to be called back home. I guess those very situations are why my family values crests so much. Since I bear a crest, my parents made sure I was never left wanting. My older brother didn't have one, and so when I was born, he was pushed aside. You know, he once shoved me in a well. He left me on the mountainside in the middle of winter, too. Even as a little kid, I understood why he was like that. My mere existence stole everything from him. I have no right to complain when I am surrounded by people who would give anything to bear a crest, but do not. Now, women smile at me for the same reason my parents adore me, and my brother wanted me dead. And I have to meet them all with a smile and a wink, because I have a crest. The women who just want to use me to become nobility? Hatred's probably the right word. Though, in the end, that's just an easy answer. I don't even know how I truly feel about it all. Anyway, it was pretty unreasonable of me to resent you. I'm really sorry about that. And I want to say thank you, Professor. Seriously, thank you. Before I met you, I'd gone my whole life not knowing there was another way for me to live. So, from the bottom of my heart, I'm glad we met.
Hello there.
Professor. I'm the heir of House Gautier, and I'm fighting alongside a bunch of Alliance people? I can just imagine my father's face contorted in anger, and the delightful words he must have used to describe me. I don't know how staying and fighting for Fargus would have helped. Sorry, Professor. I don't regret my decisions. I'm just thinking out loud, and I'm hoping I haven't made a big mistake.
Pardon me.
Hey, you.
It's been fixed up quite a bit, but its battle scars aren't so easily erased. To think that a glorious cathedral with a 1,000-year history would end up like this. I'll rebuild this place someday. This cathedral is the symbol of Fodlan. Maybe I should paint a picture of the beautiful cathedral of old. Well, I still remember what it looked like.
Dear Goddess, I ask for guidance. Professor, you're always watching over me, aren't you? I've spent my entire life avoiding people. Speaking to others was so difficult for me, so I made a point to always be alone. Animals and the goddess were the only ones I could really open up to. Do you remember the time you asked what it was I prayed for? Yes, but that wasn't the case. Back then, I felt that my life served no purpose, and that I was nothing more than a burden. In truth, I was begging the goddess to take me to her. That was my daily prayer. But now I fear the idea of dying and being left alone. I have friends who accept me for who I am now, in spite of my crest. And I have you watching over me. I finally learned to accept the kindness and warmth of others. It's because of you, Professor. Because of you, I've decided to live. I'm sorry to have worried you, but I'm all right now. Even if I'm separated from you or any of my friends, the memories I've made here will give me the strength to continue on. Oh, I'm sure I'll have the strength to move forward if we're together. the church in shambles, we can still pray. The goddess will surely hear our prayers. But still, I hope the church can return to its former beauty someday.
Need something? See you again soon.
Really?
It seems that in the last 5 years, the monks here have left this place for the town below. However, once they learn of our return, perhaps they'll come back. I hope the monastery can return to normal someday.
Singing is so much... Singing with...
Oh, good. Thanks.
Professor! Professor!
That look.
The flavor.
Well...
Professor. 5 long years I've searched for you and the Archbishop. The Church of Seros will follow you from now on. But please do not abandon the search for Lady Rhea. Thank you.
Thankfully, it appears the records and equipment I need for my research have... I am most curious, though. Perhaps this is another effect of your crest. I do look forward to wonderful news. I am perhaps...
Hey, mine. At your... Though, I suppose I haven't changed.
Let's see, I don't know anything about rebuilding, but I can sure do my best to clean up the mess. I'm gonna keep Lady Rhea's room spotless, so she can use it right away whenever... You gotta find her, Professor.
Hi.
I've grown weary and impatient. These past 5 years, my hands have been bound. But now, I can finally take action with a clear goal. I'm grateful to you and to everyone. Down with the Empire. Surely peace will soon follow if the Empire is overthrown. Then my parents can finally find peace themselves.
Sorry, but I must. Strategy in motion. We're all desperate, aren't we? We're all desperate, aren't we? A fitting outcome. Strategy in motion. I fought and won.
I've grown, but now...
And Lady, know that we're...
I would... Aha! I would... I... No? I... I've gotta keep... Persev... Yeah.
This... I am getting... I've... You...
I've got something I want to ask you. It seems like you just...
Professor!
I'm glad it's...
Look, Professor! Could...
Now to keep polishing...
Let's put it...
Perhaps
I always...
feeling